Title: The Door Between Asterisk. In the quiet town of Eldridge Hollow, the scent of autumn lingered in the air, with golden leaves swirling downwards like confetti. 17-year-old Clara Reed spent most of her time exploring the woods behind her grandmother's old house. The towering trees, hollow trunks, and silvery webs woven by industrious spiders held a certain magic for her. Yet, on this particular day, she stumbled upon something far beyond nature's wonders. Clara trudged deeper into the heart of the woods, her boots crunching against the dried foliage. Suddenly, she caught a glimpse of something strange, an old, intricately carved door standing inexplicably between two gnarled trees. Its surface was warped, speckled with age, and a faint silver glow danced along its edges. Clara felt an unwarranted pull to approach. Ignoring the warning bells in her head, she placed her hand on the cool wood. With a gentle push, the door creaked open, revealing a swirling mist beyond that shifted in shades of emerald and azure. As she stepped through the threshold, a tingling sensation enveloped her, as if she were about to embark on a soaring flight. When the world shifted back into focus, Clara found herself in a version of Eldridge Hollow that looked almost identical, yet undeniably different. The streets were bathed in a golden light, and the laughter of children echoed pleasantly. Clara wandered, absorbing the sights and sounds. The bakery on the corner smelled like freshly baked bread. The fountain in the park flowed with effervescing water. Couples strolled hand in hand, their faces lit with joy. Yet a gnawing unease crept into her mind. There was something surreal about the absolute happiness that surrounded her, as if it was a perfect picture, fooling her senses. "Hey, you!" A boy's voice broke her trance. He approached with a warm smile and tousled sandy hair. "I'm Jonah. You're new around here, huh?" Yeah," Clara replied, a bit unsettled by how friendly he was. "I'm Clara." "Clara," he repeated, marveling at her name. "You should come with me. You have to see the festival tonight. It's going to be brilliant." As they made their way through the town, Clara tried to shake off the odd feeling in her gut. She had no clue how she would return home, but the vibrancy of this reality was intoxicating. For the first time in what felt like an eternity, she laughed freely, climbing the tower at the edge of the town with Jonah, feeling wind rush through her hair. He held her hand as if they were old friends, guiding her through a world alive with color and camaraderie. As the sun set, they arrived at the town square, where colorful lights hung lazily from the branches of trees. Stalls adorned with flowers and fruits lined the streets, and the aroma of spiced food filled the air. Clara's heart raced with excitement, each moment spinning her deeper into this euphoric life. But as night fell, she began to notice the shadows creeping closer, dark and unyielding, wrapping around the colors like suffocating vines. The laughter of children faded, replaced by hushed whispers that slithered through the night air. Clara stumbled back and fell against a stall, catching Jonah's worried expression. "What's wrong?" he asked, concern etched on his features. It feels off," Clara managed to say, her voice trembling. Suddenly, the lights flickered as a chilling wind swept through the square. The atmosphere warped, colors draining into grayscale. The festival goers began to shift unnaturally, their smiles stretching wider than humanly possible, eyes glinting with an unsettling brightness as if they were more creature than human. "Look," Jonah shouted, pointing toward the ancient oak at the center of the square. Its trunk twisted like a spine, and from it emerged shadowy figures, whispering, beckoning, urging her to come closer. Clara's instinct kicked in. She turned and sprinted back toward the carved door, with Jonah trailing close behind. As they dashed through the streets, the town distorted, sinking into a nightmarish realm filled with twisted laughter and macabre silhouettes. The joy that was once palpable had transformed into a hunger for spirits. "Clara, wait," Jonah shouted as she reached the door, breathless. She pushed against it, desperately trying to shift her weight back into the safety of her world. But the door resisted. "Clara, don't leave me." Jonah's voice became urgent, tinged with anguish. "You mustn't go. You're the key." Panic surged through her. She could feel the door beginning to pull her, barring the way back to the familiar woods of Eldridge Hollow. Yet the shadows loomed closer, wrapping around her legs like icy tendrils. Time slowed as Clara's heart thudded in her chest. For a single heartbeat, she remembered who she was. The girl who'd always felt invisible in her own reality. But now, faced with a choice, she summoned all her will and cried, "No," as she thrust herself through the door, hoping to escape the fate that lay behind her. With a jolt, Clara fell onto the damp earth back in her familiar woods, the sun dipping behind the horizon. She stared back at the door now shimmering faintly, casting a dark shadow on her heart. She could hear whispers delightful yet deceitful, echoing in her mind. As she stumbled away, Clara realized the door might always be there, waiting. Though her world felt mundane, she now bore a secret, an intoxication of alternate realities that called to her, each equally destructive. And she was certain, given the chance, she might one day be drawn back to the darkness beyond the door.